Should the residents of East Palestine accept the assurances from the government, or are they right to be skeptical?
Well, they're right to be skeptical.
Well, that was Democratic Senator Sherrod Brown of Ohio appearing on CNN yesterday, speaking to the fears and the concerns which still persist in East Palestine 17 days after a toxic train derailed there in Ohio. Former President Trump says he plans on visiting the region on Wednesday. Still no word from President Biden if he has any plans. Our next guest can speak to that anguish and mistrust being felt by the residents there. We welcome back to the show Rick and Tammy Chai. Good to see you both. Thanks for coming.
Thank you for having us again. Thank you.
You bet. Tammy, I want to start with you. When we first had you on 5 days ago, you said that there had been zero intervention from the federal government since then. You've got folks from the EPA and I think the CDC saying that they're sending people. Are you guys happy or satisfied, is probably the better word, with what is being sent your way?
I'm not exactly sure. From what I'm hearing, it's an assessment management team. So what I've been hearing is what they're doing is they're assessing the derailment area and the contamination site and overseeing the cleanup. And I also hear they have some people, health officials, going to talk to people. But that's all I've heard. Nothing about financial aid or anything like that.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, I mean, we're talking 17 days later. Rick, you're a chiropractor. You sent us this picture of one of your patients who, by the way, just so everyone knows, gave you permission to share the photo. You can see there's a rash on her back. Is this an isolated incident, or are you seeing people with skin irritation and rashes all over the place?
So we had to close down for almost an entire week during the evacuation. This is the worst one that I have seen. There have been reports all over town. So the mother claimed that she had never had that rash. I've treated this patient prior, and I've never seen anything like that.
But I mean, is that an isolated incident, or when you guys talk to people, are they saying, hey, we've got a problem too? We have a skin irritation?
I haven't heard that much about skin irritations. I've heard a lot about breathing problems. In fact, you're showing a video of, so I went down to the creek the other day and filmed. And unfortunately, I was down there maybe a little too close to the water and too long, 45 minutes. And I felt fine the entire time since the accident until over the weekend, when it almost felt like my throat was burned, like multiply strep throat by 2, and my nasal passages and in my chest. And it's getting better now, but I haven't seen many skin rashes, but everybody's talking about respiratory problems.
Yeah, I mean, that video that you supplied of the water, I mean, that looks like gas in the water.
It looks like a milky white substance. All I have to do is overturn every single rock I overturned. It came out from underneath, and it's seeking the lowest point of the water. So and there's a person's house right next to that creek, and I'm up on the hill not far from it. And there's nobody doing anything in that creek. I don't see any cleanup.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say. I mean, Tammy mentioned these crews that are coming to do assessment. I don't think you need assessment. I think you need action. Tammy, I mentioned, at the beginning of the show, President Biden flew off to Ukraine. They've been planning this trip apparently for months. How upset, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, or disappointed are you that the president has had time to plan a trip to Ukraine and can't come out there and see what you guys are dealing with in East Palestine, Ohio?
Sean, that was the first thing I woke up to this morning, that he was going to Kyiv. And my first reaction was I was irate. And then I just started to cry. It's so upsetting. I don't even think the president has yet said the words East Palestine, Ohio. And that should be on the tip of his tongue every day until everything is cleaned up, the people feel confident, and we don't have this worry anymore. There are so many people in town that their houses are still not cleaned, and they don't know how to take care of it, nor do they have the funds to take care of it. That smoke plume that went up in the air and went to the northwest over Darlington and Darlington Township and Enid Valley. Those are the neighboring communities in Pennsylvania where our office is located. those people there, the same thing. They're complaining of there's dust in their houses, and they are concerned and very worried about what their ductwork looks like. And they don't know what to do. We're not getting any information. There should be some kind of like a presser, or like when we had during COVID, where President Trump every day came out and talked about this is what's going on. We don't know. There's
no information.
There's no information anywhere, and we have to search online. And I talk to people, and I talk to people every day on. We have these sites on East Palestine just for the locals. And one of the women is 91 years old, and she doesn't know what to do or where to go.
I can't believe, to your point, that we know so little. Let me just ask you, if I can, a couple of yes or no questions so that people have an idea. One is, do you or would you drink the water? Tammy, I'll start with you.
No.
So we have a well, and that's a
Rick?
No, that's a no.
Municipal water,
okay.
I guess we test every day. We don't have the opportunity to test our wells every day. So some of us have wells and some of us have muni water. I would.
But the muni water, would you drink the municipal water? Would you drink that?
No, I wouldn't. But
Okay. All right.
I don't want to create it in town, but I myself, we're real health conscious, so I wouldn't.
Okay. Well, hey, I would be too. Listen, I appreciate you being with us. Thank you guys very much. And I appreciate the update. I'm really sorry for you and so many of the folks there are going. So thank you.
Thanks for having us again. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
You bet. You bet.